everybody, and guys, and welcome back to some more Astral Ascension. I was going to record this after recording the Batman Telltale series, but I figured it might be easier for me to do it with the way I scheduled everything out. I've been going to do another live stream on Twitch, some horror games, but yeah, you know. Last time I did a stream was 4th of July, which was a couple days ago as of recording this. I'm gonna do another one with some horror games because I'm gonna get back into horror games. I know recently we've been doing a lot of The Wolf Among Us, Astral Ascension, and you know, non-horror games, but I feel like I should get back to those. I have a lot of them in my files, so I figured we should get back to that. But I figured, why not? I wasn't gonna record this, but then I thought, why not record this? That way, it just kind of works itself out, and I can just do that tomorrow. But anyway, let's get right back into this game. We ran it for about a minute, so let's get back in the game. It's still so complicated. I relay everything about that Zeke told me. Iris listens calmly, her face masking her thoughts.
Complicated is certainly one way to put it.
Exactly. And now I need to talk to Helen. Will you back me up? It may not be needed, but just in case. Iris nods.
Of course.
Good. Thanks. With our conversation settled, we cross through the cargo bay and head out the Aidos. After jumping onto the nearest transport, we ride in silence. I'm grateful for company and solitude. My mind is focused entirely on this conversation with Helen, imagining all the directions it can go. Soon we reach the cafe, and I spot Helen sitting at a table. She waves us over, and we join her. One coffee is set in front of her, and the second is set to her opposite. Hey, I hope you weren't waiting long. She shakes her head.
I got here a bit early so I could get you this.
She gestures to one of the coffees before her smiles turns out apologetic.
I didn't realize you were bringing a friend, though.
That's my fault. I should have given you a heads up. This is my Captain Iris. Also, she's my girlfriend. Maybe we should have introduced her as that. Iris smiles.
It's nice to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine. I was
We're dating.
curious about your new team, but it looks like you're in good hands.
We're dating. I definitely am. She smiles. It warms and soft, but it's also a little bit sad.
You deserve that.
Clearing her throat, she sips her coffee.
Anyway, how long will you be on Polaris?
Actually, that's why I want to meet. I had a chance to talk to Zeke. Helen's gaze flickers to my crewmate, and she cocks her brow. I understand the silent question, and I nod, letting her know that they're up to speed. And she nods back.
How'd it go?
Zeke admitted that the reason he wanted to speak to Marcus alone was because he didn't want you there.
I knew there was something fishy going on. Did he say why?
Yes. It's because he discovered your secret. She blinks.
What?
I showcase everything that Zeke sent me, and she pours out the data. Her face is pale, and she falls quiet.
How did you get this?
What do you mean, how'd I get this? I just told you it was from Zeke. Does the how matter right now? This is proof that you've been stealing evidence from crime scenes, including my cases. Did you know what was going to happen to me? Were you setting me up to take the fall? She merely shakes her head.
I promise this had nothing to do with you.
But you admitted that you've been stealing. Reluctantly, she nods.
I'm so sorry.
For a moment, all I can do is stare while my brain catches up. A part of me thought she can't deny it and say it's not true. Or maybe that was just my own way of wishful thinking. You love your job. Why would you jeopardize it like that? She sighs deeply.
I had to protect Aiden.
I blink. What does all this have to do with this? What happened?
A few years ago, he got himself into a load of trouble. He and his friend decided to take the family car for a joyride and drove it right into a parked sports car.
I vaguely recall hearing about this back when we had a morning chat at IAP. I think I remember. He was lucky to have only a few scrapes and bruises.
That's right.
I don't recall you ever mentioning that he was in the driver's seat.
That's because my husband and I decided to keep it secret. The owner of the car was understandably upset and wanted us to pay for damages.
Would insurance take care of that?
If we reported it to insurance, this would go on Aiden's permanent record.
Sure, but he's underage. It would only go on his juvenile record, which can be expunged.
While that's true, he would still be expelled from school.
I think back, remembering another past conversation. Helen was stressed because they were taking Aiden to test for collegiate preparatory charter. It's one of the most prestigious schools within Central, and if a child passes the entrance exam, it can open up limitless opportunities for the future. Luckily, he was accepted, but the private charter is known for upholding a rigorous standard of excellence both in and out of the classroom. Anything on your permanent record would be grounds for expulsion. Oh, right. Polaris Prep doesn't mess around with this sort of situation.
And if he got expelled from Polaris Prep, it would throw away all the hard work that he'd done. I couldn't let that happen.
So what did you do?
I worked it out with the car owner. We would cover the costs ourselves if they agreed to keep this quiet. They agreed, of course, but we have nowhere near that much money. I was so desperate. I didn't know what to do. And then I got called onto the scene after that big drug bust.
She trails off and looks
I
away.
figured nobody would notice if I just took a little bit.
And as the on-site tech, it was your responsibility to log all the evidence. She nods and I furrow my brow. This happened a few years ago. Shouldn't you have completed the car payments by now?
I did.
I raise a brow. But you didn't stop, did you? She looks away again and her face slowly turns red.
Once I realized I could get away with it, I would just take a little whenever I needed money fast. I tried not to do it too often, and there were many times I told myself that this would be the last time. But then I'd convince myself that one more time wouldn't hurt.
She sighs deeply, slowly shaking her
I
head.
should never have gotten so carried away. I deserved to get caught.
Oh yeah. Her shoulders hang heavy. I can tell her choices weigh on her. She almost seems relieved to be talking about it. You hid your tracks pretty well. I don't know if anyone would have caught you if you wouldn't dig into my investigation.
I swear I never did anything to purposely implicate you.
Then why did you steal from my crime scenes?
I made my decisions based on the type of cases called in, and how easy it would be to take evidence. I wasn't even thinking about the officer on the scene.
I suppose that doesn't make sense. The report Zeke showed me did have data from multiple cases, not just my own. Her expression hardens at Zeke's name.
Was it Zeke who implied that I was involved in your case?
I nod. She sets her jaw.
You can't trust him.
I know. She blinks.
You do?
Zeke is hiding information from me. I can tell that. I just don't know what
I
yet.
can help fill in the gaps.
I was a curious bow.
Even though Zeke told me to back off Marcus, I decided to dig into him anyway. I just couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. I started with your forged signatures on cases that you never worked on. I pulled some favors from the security team and got the entry logs for the dates around those forgeries.
I have already reviewed those logs. They said there was record that I logged into evidence on the dates matching those signatures.
Correct. But I went a step further and found the discrepancy.
She shifts in her seat, leaning forward.
For every instance of forgery, your access key had no record of entry into the building, even though you were recorded entering the evidence department.
So someone faked my key. Gives me a look that strongly insinuates yes.
But I found a pattern which coincided with your faked entries.
Let me guess. Does it involve Zeke?
Not just Zeke, but Marcus too.
Marcus is gonna get himself killed. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna kill him. That catches me off guard. What?
On the date of each of your forged signatures, there's a record of building entry from both Marcus and Zeke.
I don't want to assume Marcus is not just, but a lot of people are scheduled to work on the same day. It's just so outlandish to think that Marcus and Zeke are overlapping. It's not so outlandish to think that Marcus and Zeke had overlapping shifts.
That on its own isn't so crazy. But if you factor in the fact that Zeke had easy access to your key, schedule, and cases, the data does become pretty incriminating.
Helen has her own tablet, which she finally pulls out of her bag to display in front of me.
Look,
Iris and I both lean down to review. Why the hell are you smiling, Iris? Lean down to review the tablet. The data matches Helen's explanation.
This is
Oh, there
clear
you go.
evidence that someone has framed you.
I nod. If I had bothered to conduct even the most basic investigation, they would have found this information.
They only wanted a scapegoat.
Yeah, we know. I nod again. Helen urges me to look closer.
if you aren't convinced it's Zeke, just look at these documents. In every single one of these cases, it records that you reviewed and confirmed the evidence in lockup. But the amount recorded pre and post your visits are not equal.
My mouth feels as I continue to read. So Zeke was skimming evidence, using me to take the fall. She nods. No wonder he was trying so hard to push the blame onto you.
It explains why he wanted us to look into forensics, too.
I nod, recalling how easily Zeke steered our investigation. The thought makes my stomach churn.
So what are you gonna do now?
Oh, I'm gonna kill him! I need to talk to Zeke. She nods.
I can come with you.
No. I shake my head. This is between the two of us. Besides, I can't just ignore what you've told me either.
I guess it would be wishful thinking to hope that you would.
Sorry. She offers me a weak smile, but her hands ring nervously. Helen's a good person who made some poor choices. She always has been there for me. Even now, she was honest with me when she could have deflected and blamed Zeke. And I know it's because she truly cares for me. However, I wish I could ignore what she's done, but I can't. Actions have consequences, and what she's done is serious. I feel Helen's gaze on me. Her fate is in my hands, and she knows it. As much as it pains me to admit, she needs to atone for her crime. You need to turn yourself in, Helen. Helen's face falls and it breaks my heart.
I can't abandon my family.
You aren't.
The boys need me.
I know, but this is the example you want to set for them? She's silent before sighing
No, of course not. I've always taught them to be honest and take responsibility for their mistakes. I
Then you
should
need to-
never have done this to begin with.
You need to do that
I
too.
especially should not have let it continue for so long.
Now's your chance to make things right and set an example. She falls quiet again in contemplation, and finally she nods.
I will, but I need to talk to my family first. I want to at least say goodbye.
Of course. Helen smiles
Be
weakly.
careful, okay?
I will. She nods before quickly leaving the cafe. We sit in silence for a moment, letting everything sink in. Finally, Iris looks at me.
That must have been difficult. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. Honestly, I'm relieved to have hashed this out with Helen. I think we came to the best outcome. Iris nods.
Are you certain she'll turn herself in as promised?
I nod. She's a woman of her word. As someone who strives to do the right thing.
That's good then.
But if she doesn't, then I'll just have to do the right thing for her. I smile slightly.
No matter what, the outcome is the same.
Well, I don't know. Iris, if I have to, I'll do what's necessary. Anyway, we should probably head back now. She nods and we exit the cafe. We hop onto the closest transport and ride back in silence. My thoughts are heavy with what I need to do next. I'm grateful for the time to sort out my next step. Once we reach the docks, we hurry over to Eidos and head onto the ship. Shock is still coursing through me as I meant to prepare myself to call a meeting. But when I turn into the lounge, everyone is already there. Oh, you're all here. Kai looks at us.
Is everything okay?
Everyone turns their attention towards me. Oh, Kai, buddy, if it was okay, I wouldn't be here. I clear my throat and hurriedly tell everyone about the conversation I had with Helen and everything that's happened since. There's a moment of silence as my crew absorbs it all.
What are you going to do next?
I'm going to take care of Zeke. I'm going to call Zeke, which may alert him to that I'm onto him. If he makes a run for it, we should follow him. Iris
I
nods.
trust your instincts.
Vayla, do we still have that tracker on Zeke's ship, right?
Yes. If he goes anywhere, you'll be the first to know.
Alright, here we go, boys.
Then let's get prepared for flight.
Take a moment to breathe and take it all in. This still feels so unreal. The crew follows me to the bridge and strap themselves into their seats. When everything is set, I pull out my phone and call Zeke. He answers immediately.
Hey, how's it going?
He sounds apprehensive and I force a smile into my voice so I don't blow my cover. I confronted Helen. Do you have time to meet?
Yeah, of course. Where do you want to meet?
How about our usual place?
Sure, I'll be there soon.
Thanks. The call ends and the tension in the room rises. I look at Vela, who is focused on the tablet in her hands.
Nothing yet. Maybe he's actually going to the meeting spot?
Or he might be thinking about his next move.
My heart pounds in my chest as we continue to wait. Suddenly, Vela jumps in her seat.
His ship is taking off. He's trying to leave.
I knew it! He's so dead. Even though I had predicted this, my heart sinks in my chest. How should it come to this?
I have a lock on his signal. Ready when you are.
Alright. Everyone, let's go! I shift the Eidos into gear and we immediately take off.
According to the tracker, he's taking the quickest route out of Polaris.
Oh, it's Polaris, not Polaris. Whatever. I follow Vale's guidance until we have a visual of his ship, and I speed up. So he activates his warp drive to escape. He must have noticed us. You aren't escaping me that easily. I kick on my warp drive and follow him. The warp lands us right in the middle of an asteroid belt. I slow down so we don't hit anything. Ahead of us, Zeke's ship navigates through the rocks with ease. Soon I can barely see him.
He's trying to shake us off.
His ship is smaller and can navigate the asteroids more easily.
I can keep us up if I can get the
We
speed.
should redirect all our power to the engines.
If we do that, our shields will be down and we won't be able to handle any kind of damage from these asteroids.
Then we'll make sure we don't hit anything.
Alice pushes her lips into a thin line. She turns to
Are
me.
you positive you can follow him if we do this?
Control and intimidation pulse through my body. I nodded firmly. Absolutely yes.
Then divert all power to engines.
Vela makes the calibrations. I feel an immediate surge of speed without all the perhestials draining our power. I don't have to pronounce that word. Carefully, I steer us following Zeke. Path through the belt. He's quickly darts between two asteroids just before they collide in front of us. Dust and debris take over my entire field of vision. Evasive roll! I immediately roll the ship to the right, avoiding the biggest debris pieces, and I'm grateful the entire crew is buckled into the seats. A quick check assures me that everyone and everything is okay, and I let myself relax for just a moment. Even though the dust is behind us, we're not just clear yet. Check the sensors looking for Zeke's ship. As soon as I see it, I take a quick left and come face to face with a large asteroid I've never seen. Weave around it. I weave along the asteroid's large surface until we're safely on the other side of the asteroid belt. I lock on the Zeke's ship and accelerate towards him. His engine's signature indicates his warp drive is activated.
He's warping again?
If he's going to overheat it, we will too. I re-engage the warp drive and warp us to the new location. We rush forward for what feels like too long. When we're in regular flight again, a small planet comes into view.
There are warnings all over this area for pirate activity.
Even from our vantage point in the sky, I can see why. Dark oceans swirl on the surface, and the dozens of ships are toiling over the land. We follow Zeke's signature to a dock with minimal air activity.
He must have a safe house set up nearby.
This would be the perfect place for it. If you have enough money, anyone can be on your side.
Expect him to be guarded.
With the tracking first. Vela, can you scan for any heat signatures exiting his ship?
Yeah, one sec.
She quickly taps all the way on her
I've got it.
tablet. You do?
Stay locked on that signature.
Oh,
we don't
really?
want to lose him while we're gearing up.
He's so dead. I finally dock the ship and we all head down to the armory. I slide on my protective vest and strap my gun to my hip. Once we're prepared, we head off the ship immediately. We're assaulted by a smell of smoke and burning, putrid odor from the streets. There's a car on fire in the middle of the road and a few passerbys walk past it without even a glance.
We shouldn't stick around for long. This planet is full of shady people, and we don't want to overstay our welcome. Be careful.
I know, but Vela checks her tablet.
The heat signature has him going this way.
We should keep close to the buildings to avoid being spotted.
Vela navigates us through the streets, avoiding any crossfire from feuding locals. When we start down the alley, there's a looming nightclub with a single guard posted out front. Vela indicates that's where Zeke is. We close until we can peek inside the larger windows. Several men are posted inside, crouched behind cover, the guns aimed at the doorway. They're ready for us.
We're ready too.
We position ourselves for a breach, and I set up a shockwave charge on the door. When everyone's ready, Iris and Kai toss in 2 flashbangs through the window, and I activate the charge. We immediately swarm inside and knock out Zeke's men whilst they're still stumbling from the temporary blindness. I'm still looking for Zeke when Vela spots
There
him.
he is.
Zeke dodges towards the back room while more of his protection storms in. Luna and Kai move in tandem, knocking out a few guards off their feet before they have a chance to strike. Iris just cuts behind the lounge seat. When a guard comes too close, she strikes him unconsciously in one seamless motion.
We can handle the guards out here. Go follow him.
Deal. I know. Thankful for the support. I rush after Zeke. I burst through the doors and enter the room just in time to see Zeke nearing the back exit. Gauging my distance, I won't reach him in time, but I can't escape. My training takes over and I aim my weapon at the door lock mechanism. My shot short circuits the panel, causing the failsafe to seal the door shut. Zeke freezes. He laughs as he slowly turns to face me.
You still remember that old trick, huh?
I remember a lot of things you taught me.
I don't know if I should be grateful you paid attention, or annoyed that you've used my own techniques against me.
I don't bother answering. Instead, I keep my weapon trained on him as he steps away from the door.
So, what now?
That depends. Are you gonna try anything? He shows me his empty hands. I slowly load my weapon.
I assume you figured it all out by now.
I nod. Silence stretches between us. Neither one of us seems to know what to say, so I decide to just ask the question burning my lips. Why'd you do it? So he takes a deep breath and slowly breathes it out.
I needed the money.
His answer is simple, but I can tell it's genuine. For what?
To fix my mistakes. I made bets in some high-risk, high-reward margin investments, but it didn't work out. My home was put up for collateral, so if I didn't clear the negative balance fast, I'd lose it.
I find a breath and shake my head. Risky margin investing with your home as a collateral. What were you thinking? He laughs wearily.
I was trying to start my private security business. I had everything lined up. All I needed was that initial investment money. I convinced myself that it was going to work out if I had faith. But, of course, that's where it all went wrong. So I came up with my own solution to dig myself out of that hole. That's when I realized if I continued, I could generate the initial investment I needed myself as well.
He did all that and readily handed me to be the fall guy. He winces.
Look, it wasn't personal. At the time, we didn't know each other, and you were an easy scapegoat.
Always a bow. How so?
When I met you, you were just a trainee temporarily assigned to me and my partner. It was the perfect setup because you'd be gone after a few months. I hadn't anticipated that my partner would retire soon after, or that you'd be assigned to me permanently.
Oh, so you still did it anyway, you asshole.
By that point, everything had already been set in motion, and I couldn't stop it.
Slowly I absorb these words, but it only makes the pit in my stomach sink. So all those times you couldn't look out for me or be my friend, was it all for show? Just a facade to keep me happy and preoccupied so I wouldn't find out what you were actually doing behind my back? Zeke merely shakes his head.
All of that stuff is real. I do consider you family, and all of that stuff we've been through, you can't fake that kind of bond.
And yet you continued anyway.
As I got to know you, I regretted what I started. But the cards were already in play. As soon as I had the money, though, I left IAP. I thought that would be the end of it, that nobody would ever find out. There was no way I could know that Internal Investigations was auditing our agency.
Slowly I shake my head, trying to organize my thoughts. Let me get this straight. You were already in debt, so you started stealing from IAP and used me as your cover so you could steal even more money to start your own company? And once you left, you thought that you, or we, since you used my name, would never be caught because by leaving you effectively stopped?
That's the gist of it.
This idiot. Zeke watches me closely, and when I catch his gaze, I see a flicker of regret.
I wish I could undo everything that I've done, especially knowing how my actions have harmed you.
I'll give you one last
Unfortunately,
chance, buddy, to do the right
Life doesn't
thing.
give us do-overs like that.
No, it doesn't. Full silence to process everything that's been said. Zeke continues to study me, but he still allows me time to think. Without crosswords, Zeke has finally laid his cards out on the table, and the next move is mine. Now that I know the truth, does that change anything between us? No, but I'm ready to move on. I'm with a new crew, and I like them more. And in fact, I'm dating my captain. But he has to make the right choice. Although what Zeke did was wrong, I can understand how he was pushed into the choices he made. Yeah. He got it in his head, but he was always working towards a goal, and once he reached it, he chose to move forward. Think back to all that Zeke and I have gone through. He taught me everything I know. He saved my life more than once. He's right about that bond. That can't be fake. He's like my family. My family forgives each other. What you did was horrible, Zeke, but I can see that you've turned a new leaf. You left your past mistakes behind, so I want to do the same. He's so relieved that he shakes his whole body.
You have no idea how happy I am to hear that. I know that I did wrong by you, and I'm really sorry for everything I've done. Since then, I've been doing my best to make it up to you.
I know. You offered me a job when I lost mine. You handed me that lucrative mission. You didn't have to do all those things.
And I'm going to keep making it up to you however I can. Whatever you want me to do, just name it.
I pause and take the time to really think about my next answer. You can turn yourself in. This is your last chance, Zeke. If you don't do it now, I'm gonna have to put you down and make your wife a widow. If Zeke really wants to atone for his actions, then he needs to take responsibility for his actions. We've both been running from this for so long. It's time to put it to rest. He cautiously nods, and I meet his eyes. It's time you turn yourself in. Set the record straight. You know that's the right thing to do. Maintain eye contact while Zeke considers my words. His face is carefully masked, so I can't tell what he's thinking. I hope that Zeke will understand, but I stay on alert just in case. Finally, Zeke shakes his head.
I'm sorry, but that's the one thing I can't do.
Then you're gonna die. My stomach sinks. I hope that Zeke knew and trusted. I hope that the Zeke I knew and trusted was still in there, but now I know for certain that he's gone. I still my resolve. I hope you go willingly, but if not, then I'm prepared to bring him in myself.
Can't let you do that either.
Then you gotta die. Zeke's reaction is immediate, and he reaches for his gun. I have no time to think and act pure instinct. In an instant, my gun is in my hand, and I fire at Zeke. The shot rings true, and he crumples to a heap on the floor. I've barely processed what I've done when the door behind me bangs open. Kai's the first one to reach me.
I heard a gunshot. Are you hurt?
Slowly, I shake my head as the rest of my team reaches in. I'm okay. They note the weapon in my hand and the body on the floor.
I'm glad you're okay, but we need to get out of here. They have reinforcements coming.
We can go through this back door if we can override the lock.
Leave it to me.
Vela hurries to the lock panel. The footsteps outside are already growing louder.
Help me move these tables to make a barricade. It'll buy time.
Good thinking.
The rest of us jump into action and pile as much furniture as we can in front of the door, but Vela does her thing. The back door slides open. We waste no time in racing out the building. After crossing through the streets, we quickly reach the Ados. Everyone files on board and we head up to the bridge. The goal is to get off this planet ASAP, and I waste no time in powering up the engines. Kai and I will search for the safest flight path home. Luna and Vela strap themselves in. Since as powered, we soar into the sky and escape the unruly planet. I was considered Kai.
Is anyone following us?
I checked the radar.
All clear.
Good.
He nods, studying the
I
maps.
can plot a course back to Polaris which avoids the asteroid belt. The route will take longer since we're skirting around it, but it'll be safer.
Iris nods her approval and Kai reroutes us. I know the warp drive towards Polaris space, following the new path. Silence hangs in the air as the adrenaline melts away. I heave a breath of relief, breathing out any remaining tension. Kai glances at me.
Where does this leave you now? Is your situation resolved?
I'm sure my team is still worried. They don't know what happened between me and Zeke, and what they walked into was shocking. They're probably wondering what went down, if there will be any ramifications. On one hand, I'm sure they understand why I was driven to do what I did. On the other hand, it's over now. We should just focus on that. Yeah, I'll give them the full explanation. It was my choice to bring my team into this mess, and I couldn't have resolved it without him. They deserve to know everything that happened. Resolved, but not in the way I hoped.
What happened?
I tried talking to Zeke, but My words didn't get through to him. He went on the attack and I had to defend myself.
You adapted and did what you had to do.
Iris's words are a reasons of support. I'm grateful she understands. Vela's brows are creased.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be alright. It's all over now. She relaxes into a small smile. I appreciate she's still thinking of me and my well-being.
It's unfortunate that it came to this conclusion.
I agree. I wish it didn't. But I had no other choice. I had to put him down. Kai nods and claps my shoulder, giving it a squeeze. My lips curve into a half smile. I didn't realize how much tension I was still holding, but my team's outward show of support has lifted another weight off my shoulders. Iris turns to me.
Now that we have a moment to breathe, why don't you take a break? You've just gone through a lot, and we can take it from here.
Kai nods, ready to take over the controls. What about you guys? You were all out there with me?
We had each other for backup. Your fight was alone. Plus,
He pats a drawer by the console.
Our resupply included a full restock of Crimson Ox.
Iris! Why did you let him do that? He grins. Iris shoots him a wary glance before addressing me.
We'll also be taking shift breaks, but I want our pilot to be in top form when we near Polaris.
This suggestion sounds more like an order than a request, and she's right. I am tired. If Kai's fine taking over, then I won't fight him. Alright, thanks. She nods. While I transfer control over to Kai, Vela and Luna both exit the bridge. I double check that everything is fine, and then head down the corridor and gratefully slide open my door to my room. The first thing to do is fall face first on my bed and sink into a fluffy mattress. I don't know how long I lie there before I peel myself up with a short groan. I could use a warm shower. I drag myself to the bathroom where I get cleaned up. Afterwards, I slide gratefully into bed again, and this time I fall asleep. After my nap, I wake up ready to get back to business. Even though I had a shorter rest, I don't feel tired. Maybe it's the residual adrenaline. We're not completely free and just clear yet. I get changed and then I exit my room to relieve Kai. I head down the hallway and head up into the bridge as my crew is already gathered there. Kai grins at me from the controls as I sit down in my chair. Vale and I both wave, although Iris is the first to greet me.
Did you rest well?
Yeah, thanks. What are you all doing here?
We all want to know what happens next.
Of course. What do you mean?
you know, after we land in Polaris.
And once everything is fully resolved.
What is your next step?
I paused thinking. Well, my name is still on the blacklist, so there's no chance I'm going back. Not that I'd want to anyway. The chapter is closed and done. So, if it's all the same to you guys, I'd like to stick around for a while. Well, I can't hide the hope in her eyes. I see the same twinkle amongst the rest of my team,
Really?
too. My life is so much better now. I have a job that pays even higher, and Celeste is doing better than ever. And most of all, I'll look at each of them in the eye. I have all of you! What more could a guy want?
Aww.
Well said.
Luna grins.
Ditto.
The feeling is mutual.
You should, yeah, it should be Iris. Let's be real here.
This calls for a group hug.
I thought you'd never ask.
With the powers combined, Vela and Kai trap all of us in a group hug. Luna eagerly joins in, whereas Iris allows herself to be swept into the group. Eventually, we wiggle free. Take a look at my crew, laughing and smiling around me, and I have never felt more certain that here, with all my friends, is where I belong. I don't know what the future may hold, but for now, it has never looked brighter. The crew and I have been pretty busy too. Alice has kept missions lined up for us, so money is flowing in and the team is in a nice groove. Which is great because it means Iris is spending more time on the bridge with me. Whenever we're docked, we usually go explore the local shops and scenery together. We've picked up a lot of souvenirs and interesting stories from places we've visited. Celeste has also been doing well. Her treatment has been going on as scheduled and the results are consistently positive. Most importantly, she's enjoying her program at the conservatory. To accommodate her treatment, the school worked out a schedule so Celeste only visits campus 1 day a week. We still connect as much as possible, which is not as often as I hope, but between her treatments and classes and my missions, finding a loving time is difficult. When we do connect though, I can see just how much healthier and happier she is, which makes me glad. We've just completed a mission and now we're on another much needed break. And that, guys, is what I'm going to end the video here. Come back next episode, guys, and we'll see what takes us, where the world takes us. But thank you all so much for joining this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all beautiful people in the next Astral Ascension video. We're almost there, guys. Very close, but we're almost there to the end. We got one more chapter to go, and we'll be done. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Peace.